Hi, my name is Erica Miners, and I'm going to be 50 this year, so Stonewall and Erica, 2019 is a big year. And my Stonewall moment is when I began thinking about abolition and started the pathway of being a prison industrial complex abolitionist. And for me, this was 16 years ago in Chicago. I'd been doing work to sort of make prisons and jails and policing safer or nicer for people. It was sort of the good work of good white people. And I felt something was wrong with that work. I felt uncomfortable about that work, and I couldn't quite place it. And I saw this event was happening downstate Illinois, organized by a group called Critical Resistance that was asking us to build a world without policings and prisons. And talking about how they were doing that with campaigns, with organizing, and it was just learning about that event was electric. So I filled up my car. I think I had a Mazda 323 at that time, packed it full of people, drove downstate, and listened to people like Rose Braz and Craig Gilmore and Ruth Wilson Gilmore talk about campaigns and practice that was really building a world that we know that we needed, that was without borders, without policing, without the violence of caging people indefinitely. And for me, that was an aha moment, that was a transformative moment. I mean, building the practice of abolition took many more years. But for me, that was a Stonewall moment, and that was a Stonewall moment at multiple levels. In part, I'm wearing my t-shirt here from Sarita Hernandez today, just to remind myself and to remind everyone that movements for social justice, movements for liberation, movements to end white supremacy and heteropatriarchy have always been queer movements, both because queer people are in those movements and because those movements are imagining and building something different. But also because Stonewall, right, was an uprising, and I use that word intentionally, an uprising against the violence of policing, and I also use that term violence of policing very specifically rather than police violence, because here we are in 2019 in Chicago, in the city of Laquan McDonald and Rekia Boyd, two young black folks that were killed by police, to remind us that queer movements to challenge the violence of policing, movements to build the world that we know we need, have always been queer justice movements. So at the 50th anniversary of Stonewall, my 50th birthday as a queer person, as somebody who identifies as an abolitionist, it's really a joy to think about and name this long trajectory of queer folks building abolition, building the world that we know we need. Thanks.